So now that your web server has been set up within Dreamweaver, we can go ahead and create the beginnings of our home page as an HTML file. So I'll take a quick look at my page design or wireframe and show you, although everyone's page design is different, there are some common elements. So on my page, for example, I have a header which contains my logo, site title, and a top menu. Following that, I have a section which contains all my main content, and then I have a footer which contains additional links, icons, and copyright information. You may or may not have all these elements, but typically most websites do have a header and a main section. Sometimes you have a footer, sometimes you don't. And some websites also have additional sections such as a sidebar within the main section. So for this video, I'm just going to create a simple HTML page that has a header, a section, and a footer. So in Dreamweaver, when you open it up, you may see this screen with a lot of options to create new files, or you may just see a blank screen. Either way is fine. To create a new HTML page, if you see the screen, you can just click on HTML document here, or you can go up to File, New, and then HTML is chosen by default. So it'll create a new HTML page. It asks us for a couple of options. One is a document title. The document title is what appears in the title bar of your web browser when somebody visits your site. So let me show you some examples. So if you go to the Apple homepage, then in the title bar, or nowadays with browsers having tabs, in the tab bar of your browser, you will see Apple. So that's the title of their homepage. If you go to the Leeward website, the title bar says Leeward Community College. You go to Wikipedia, the title says Wikipedia. So whatever you title your page is what will show up here in the tab bar of the web browser. So since this is my portfolio site and it contains animation and other kinds of art, I'm going to give it a descriptive title. The document type, I will let it be HTML5. This is the newest version of HTML at this time. I don't need to do anything with CSS at this time. We will go into style sheets later. So I'm just going to click Create. And Dreamweaver creates a new page. By default, it shows me split view. So at the top, it shows me the live view, or what the web browser will see, which for a new page is just a blank white page. At the bottom, it shows me the HTML code. So as you can see, even though the web browser sees a blank page, the HTML code is not empty. It has an HTML tag opening and closing. Within HTML, there is a head, and then there is a body. The body is where most of the visible content of your web page will show up. The head usually contains invisible information that supports the web browser in displaying the web page. The only one piece of information in the head that's actually visible to the end user is the page title, which we have already set, and we know where it will show up. But everything else that's visible will be in the page body. So if I click on the upper part, the body, I'm going to insert three things into this page just to create a general framework or structure, which I will then begin to develop in later videos. But for now, I'm going to start by inserting a header. So I just click once on the blank area up here and I go to Insert, Header. So you see a new header, a new section appears here. It says content for new header tag goes here. So this is some placeholder text that Dreamweaver gives us so we can know that this is what we need to replace with the header content. If you look in the code, you will see inside the body area a new header tag appeared with that same placeholder text. So this is what the code looks like, and this is what the header would look like in the web browser. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my section now. So again, if I just click on this area, the blank area, and then I go to Insert, Section, see what happens. The section appeared above the header. Same thing in the code. The section appears above the header. But that's not what I want, because my section is actually below the header. So the order in which things appear in your HTML is usually the order in which they will appear in the browser. So this is not what I want. I'm going to undo it and show you how to insert things in the right order. So I just undid adding the section. So to make sure that your section appears in the right place, I'm going to go down to the code area and then I'll click and place my cursor right after the header ends. So if you see this blinking cursor after the end of the header tag, now I'm in a right position to add my section. So with the cursor blinking over here, I will go up to Insert, Section. Now this time Dreamweaver asks me, where do I want to insert it? So I let it stay at insertion point because I know that I've placed my cursor at the right place. We'll deal with class and ID later. Right now we haven't gotten to styles yet. So I'll just go ahead and say OK. Now you notice both in the live area and in the code area that the section appears after the header, and it appears with some placeholder text that says content for new section tag goes here. So now I know what to do with the footer. I'll go into my code area and click right after the end of the section tag. Be careful not to click inside the tag. Make sure your cursor is outside of the tag. Then you know you're in the right place. And then I'll go up to Insert, Footer. So now header, section, footer, and a few others are standard tags in HTML5. Again with the footer, at insertion point is OK. I leave the rest blank and then say OK. And it adds my footer after the section. So this is all I'm doing at this point, just adding three main areas into my page. In future lessons, I'll go in and build out the header, build out the section, and build out the footer. So at this point, I'm ready to save my page. I haven't saved the page yet. As you can see, it's still untitled. So I'm going to click on File, Save. In my Site Files folder that I just created in the previous video, I'll save my home page, and for the home page it's important that the name is always index.html. This is how the web server will recognize when somebody visits your website which of the HTML pages to show them first. It'll look for the name index.html, and that's what it'll display. So I'm going to save this. Now notice in the files window, under my local files, index.html just appeared. So I'm going to show you how to upload this to the server, and then I'll test it in my browser to make sure that it uploaded correctly. So in the files window, since in the last video I had not chosen the checkbox that said automatically upload my files every time I save them, so now I have to manually connect and upload this page. So if you look at this plug icon on the files window, it shows that the plug is disconnected. Click on it, it connects the plug, and it actually logs in to the server. Now I'm ready to upload. I click on the site folder and I go and click on the up arrow, which is to upload the files. And Dreamweaver asks me, are you sure you wish to put the entire site? And then I say okay, because in this case I do. If you just want to put up individual files, you have to click on the files that you want to upload and then click the up arrow. So I'll click OK here. Dreamweaver uploaded it, and now I will test it by going to a web browser, and I'm going to type in my address. And you notice the page that I just saved is now showing up online, and in the title bar of my browser I see the title that I had typed out earlier. So this is how you can create a simple page and upload it to your UH site using Dreamweaver 2017.